Hello, Seeds of Success listeners. As you probably heard on our introduction episode, we are back and we are thrilled to be here today. Our topic is change. You know, change happens. Change happens every day. Isn't that right, Orly?
Yeah, I mean, it happened here on Seeds of Success. I'm here. So if you don't know, I'm obviously a new co-host to the show. So change has definitely happens, and it has happened here on the show also.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And we're happy that that change happened because we're lucky to have you. But you know, change is important, and change is something that we often we hesitate when, or we start to get a little anxious when we know that something's going to have to change or that something needs to change because it's outside our norm, and we get afraid of that. We worry about what the outcome is going to be of that change, right?
Yeah, especially with technology these days, things are changing. And sometimes when people are just set in their ways, they're scared to jump on some of these new things. They're, oh, I did this. And yeah, there is a saying of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think nowadays you have to embrace change or you're going to get left behind when it comes to mostly anything.
Well, and part of why you need to embrace change is that the customer changes,
Yeah,
right? Our customer from 20 years ago is a different, today it's a different customer, and tomorrow it's going to be an even different
exactly.
customer. And we have to make sure that we're mindful of what that changed customer is needing or wanting or expects from our business.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like for example, today, technology is something that today's customer, they embrace technology. And their expectation is that technology is infused into the business that they do. So, for example, to go into their favorite fast food restaurant, they expect to order their meal from a kiosk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that change is necessary. So a lot of people, when they hear, gosh, you know, I'm bringing in a kiosk, that means that I'm going to have to do away with somebody. That's not what we're. That's not the purpose of a kiosk. The
Yeah,
purpose of
sometimes it's just going to
is,
help. It's going to help you might be super busy and that one staff member up front just needs a little bit of help. So that kiosk is going to take away from that. It's going to take some of that pressure off that front desk person and help keep your customers happy because they're going to be able to get stuff in a timely manner.
that's right. And it's going to be the way the customer ordered it, right?
Yep.
There's no room for human error in there. It's going to be what the what the customer put in that they want for that order to be. So it really is, and it gives your existing employees the ability to really take their service up a level because they have a little bit more time. They're not having to take those orders manually anymore. And so, you know, change is inevitable. It's going to happen if you want to grow. And, you know, just like with technology, customers want to have the ability to be able to go online and set up their next date night or their, you know, to set up their next event. And to be able to offer the ability for a customer to go online and make a reservation is the expectation these days. It's
Yeah.
not change that you really should think about a little bit. It really is necessary these days.
Yeah, it's convenience for people. 20 years ago, I don't know, I'm just throwing that number out there, but you needed information on a bowling center or any business, you call or you look in the phone book, and then it went to social media. Like I noticed, people right away, they're looking for, even nowadays they're looking for the phone number for your center. They're going to look online or they're going to look on your social media. Are they open today? Let me check their hours on their Facebook. So yeah, the change, it's necessary, and it helps all around. So
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more. And so, and you know, with things like online reservations or kiosk, there may be a need to tweak some of the way that you operate your business as a result to be able to incorporate the technology into your business, right? And
yeah.
that's okay too. Just because it's been done that way for the last 10 years doesn't mean that's the same way or the most efficient way for it to be done today. So, you know, it is something that we certainly need to embrace and research. Make sure you know all about what it is that you're changing or that needs to be changed. And although this episode is about change and embracing change and not being afraid of it, I also want to take this opportunity to kind of plant another little seed. So you're getting two seeds in the place instead of just one today. But also to be mindful of who your customer is and what that customer expects or wants. And that changes on a daily basis. And it is also much different from one generation to the next. So I encourage you to educate yourself. This is something that Orly and I are very, very involved in, making sure that we are on top of the different demographics and what their needs are and what their expectations are. We are constantly educating ourselves in researching this topic. So if you are not aware of who your customer is and what their needs are, certainly take a step back and look at what you're delivering, what the expectation is of your customer, and be willing to change. Don't be afraid of that.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing with change. You can't be afraid, and you got to think about, you're opening an opportunity for a new customer, whether it's, a kiosk. You might have, your old school people that don't want to use a kiosk or don't want to touch it, because some people might be scared. They're still going to go up to your front counter and order, but you're going to have this young crowd, maybe a younger crowd, or someone that's used to a kiosk that maybe wouldn't necessarily jump in line right away to get something, but now they're, oh, they have a kiosk, let me go and order something there, whether it's food or drink, and it's just going to open up. It's just another way to bring revenue into your company and to bring a new customer in also.
Right. And Orly, I'm going to touch on something else. Change also comes in a lot of different forms. So, for example, I know one of the topics that centers are struggling with still to this day is keeping staff and having enough staff and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go after getting staff. And so recruitment marketing is a hot topic right now, and we'll be having a white paper that comes out on that here in the very near future. But the way that you attract new hires to your center can't be the same way that it was 10 or 15 years ago, because you're looking for a different type of employee because of the age that you're tapping into at this time. And so that particular employee or potential employee that you're going after, they don't respond to or the same way that employees or new hires back 10, 15, 20 years ago responded. So you have to have a different way of recruiting as well. So again, change is inevitable. It's going to happen. It has to happen if you want to continue to grow your business. And so, we are here today to say, take a step back, look at it. Don't be afraid of that change. Look at all your options. Make sure that you are educating yourself, you're educating your staff, and you are handling that change to where it helps you to take your center to the next level.
Yeah, and you have to be positive with change. You can't go into it negative, because it's only going to be negative if you go in. And you got to remember what your thoughts on things, it rubs off on your employees. So if you're being negative right away, like, I don't think this is going to work, or this isn't good for our center, then they're going to think that, and it's just going to be a spiral of negativity. So you got to stay positive, look at the positives, and if there is some negatives, turn those negatives into positives, and and it'll all be successful.
You're very right. And you know what? I like that mindset for just the way you operate your center as a whole. Keeping a positive mindset is so important. And if there's plenty of negatives when it comes to this industry and this, this type of a business, but try to keep a positive mindset, because everything feeds from the top. So if you're positive, you have a good outlook on things, it's going to flow down, and people are going to be able to see that, and they're going to be able to, it's going to be contagious. Mm-hmm. So, well, Orly, this has been a really helpful seed today, and I hope that our listeners found it very valuable. We are always available. You can find us at our email, which is dsanmartin@cubicaamf.us or orivera@cubicaamf.us. I guarantee you can find us. We are on the Facebook group Beyond the Frame. So you can do like what we do when we're looking for people to be on our show. We just start looking. So anyway, listeners, it's been a pleasure. We're back. We're very excited for our new season, and we hope that you will continue to join us each week on Seeds of Success. Until next time, think beyond the frame.